Hey everyone, it's Tiara from Shop Like Me. Today I am doing some extra jumbo box braids. I am going to start by parting my hair into 3 sections. I was going to do 6 braids, and then I decided I probably need some more. So instead of just doing 2 in each section, I decided to do 3 in each section. And then later on, I decided to add 1 more in the front. So I do a total of 10 box braids. So it's not quite as big as they would have been, but they are still really big. So at this point, I have 2 parts and 3 different sections, which kind of go off of my ear. And it's just really hard to see while I'm filming myself and not the right angles. But I am using edge control, shine and jam, and I am using small hair ties, but you could use elastics. You just want to make sure that you are not breaking off your hair. So make sure it's something that's safe for your hair. And right now I'm taking each section and I am using edge control around the edges, and then I'm going to separate it out and use my little bit thinner edge control. It's not quite as good in the middle part, but just to make sure I get edge control all the way through it. And then I'm going to brush it through with a comb and just kind of smooth it all out. And obviously I can't see the back of my head, so when you do see my parts, they're not going to be great. They were better when I originally parted them. It's just while I was combing and doing all that stuff, I kept picking up pieces from the other sections, and then it just wasn't quite as a clean part as I would have liked. But you know, nobody cares, nobody notices, only me, because I'm a perfectionist. But I do crop out of this video like a lot because I'm getting up constantly and I'm having to use like a little mirror to look at the back of my head to do all these parts and stuff. So there is a ton of editing. There's tons of zooming in and out. And because this took me probably about a total of an hour and a half, there is lots and lots of editing and speeding up parts and things like that. So I apologize if it's hard to follow or if it's just too much going on, but I didn't want to just like crop it out and say, hey, here it is, here's the end result. So instead I tried to leave everything in there as much as possible and then just kind of cut some things out and speed up some things. But right now I'm working on 3 parts and I'm getting ready to show you right here those 3 parts in the back. And you can see where I accidentally grabbed some hair from the other sections while I was doing it, but you know what, I don't care. So now I'm getting ready to work on that second section. And again, I'm going to section this off into 3 sections. And I did, again, I was looking in the mirror while I did this. So I did these initial parts here, but then that's when I got up, looked in the mirror, and I made sure to line them up with the previous sections in the back to make sure it was all look like one continuous line, which I guess you could part it that way to begin with. It's just, I was just trying to figure out what way worked best for me, and for this is what I found worked best for me. I want to add in there that I have never done this style. I had seen one kind of similar on YouTube, and so I kind of just like did my own thing because I was looking for something that was kind of made my hair look put together but was quicker and easier than doing actual box braids. So I just came up with doing this. And so, like I said, it only took me about an hour and a half, so that was great. So right now I have 6 sections from those 2 back sections. And I think I might have made that part just a little bit too fast. So again, I'm taking that last section in the front and I'm parting it into thirds. And again, I'll crop out where I got up and I was looking in the mirror to make sure that those lines met with the lines in the back. So again, edge control all the way around. I know you can see better now that I'm towards the front, but you see I put the edge control down in the middle and then I'm brushing it, smoothing it out. And this is a much better view than it was before. So here's where I decided, well, instead of 9 braids, let's do 10 braids and let's make this parted right here in the section. That way I can take a braid to one side and then the other, or both braids to one side. And I thought it would give me just a little bit more versatility considering I didn't have a lot of braids. So I decided to add that extra part there, which also made me use an extra bundle of hair because I now had to split another bundle to make that extra part. But it's okay. I thought it came out cute in the end, and I am glad that I put that extra part there. So like I said before, I came out with a total of 10 sections, and that means 4 packs of braiding hair because I ended up splitting the braiding hair into 3 sections. And you can see here where I'm like checking to see, well, how wide do I want it? Because I was thinking a bundle per braid, and I'm like, oh, that's huge. So I ended up doing 3 sections per bundle, and that made me have to use 3 full packs and then a third of the 4th pack. So not very much hair. I got this hair off of Amazon, and I probably paid like $10 or $15 for 6-7 packs. So, this style was like super, super cheap. And you really could do these sections even smaller. I think I did them a little bigger than I needed to. I probably could have got 4 out of each bundle, but it works. So here's my little trick for you. I'm combing through this hair because it is kind of a cheaper hair. And you see it's bent because it came folded in the bag. But I take my blow drying brush and I brush through it. So it helps straighten through it, or it helps comb through it. And then it also straightens it. It's great. I love it. That's my little trick. And I'm going to show you before and after, like how big of a difference that makes. So you'll see me do that periodically. Had I planned on doing that in the beginning or, really thought about it, then I would have done all the hair for my whole head at once. So here I slowed it down to show you where I sectioned it out, and I'm going to show you again, so don't worry about that. But here's where you wrap the hair around each other for those sections you take, and this is how you start a box braid. There's like so many tutorials on YouTube that you can find about how to do a box braid, but I just thought I'd slow down this part, and I know my voiceover kind of went over a little bit, and I didn't want to delete the whole thing. So, but I do show it multiple times. This is obviously just the first braid, and I will slow it down like anyone that you can see really good. I do slow it down so you can see what I'm doing. So this is the start of a box braid. I laid those 3 sections that I made on top of my hair. I put all my hair into one of the sections, just because I tried to do the part and it didn't look good trying to cover the rubber band. So normally when I do box braids, I will section my own hair into 3 parts as well. But for this style, I put all my hair into one of the sections. But you can see where I am just starting that braid. And it's slow because I put it in slow motion, but it's also slow because I'm trying to make sure I'm gripping it tight and covering that rubber band and just getting a really good solid start on that. So right here, you're going to see me pull my hair tighter. That was to make sure I get my grip real good, real tight. So I pull my natural hair, make sure that it's not loose or anything near the top that I didn't notice. And so I'm just going to continue braiding on. After I get a good grip and get it started well is when I like to use the Shine and Jam and just kind of put it on my own natural hair, and get it on the ends and stuff to try to get the ends into that braid. And I will speed it back up once I get, after I get the braid started and get my hair in there. I just wanted you to see it slow motion. And I will do this a couple times for a few braids that have a good vantage point. And then I'm going to crop out some of the braids so you don't have to watch it all. And then speed up the bottom where you can't really see what I'm doing. So I took the braid pretty much to the end. I don't know if this was hot water set or anything like that. I didn't do anything to set it. I just braided it, and they have stayed because it kind of just tangles on its own. But here again, here's the part starting a braid. You do 1/3 section and 2/3 section. That way, when you wrap around that 1/3 section around the 2/3, you get 3 equal parts of hair. So because the one piece is going to double itself. So again, starting the braid, doing it as tight as possible, and then that's where I added the shine and jam into my edges or my ends of my hair. That way they integrate as best as possible, and you see a little bit is sticking out. So like I mentioned before, I keep doing this because I had already sectioned the hair before I decided to do the blow dryer. And so you'll see me keep doing it over and over again. And had I planned on it, I would have done the whole bundle and then separated out. So that's what I'm going to do the next time. But for these 3, I had to do them individually. So that was kind of a waste of time. Like, I think this could have been quicker. But like I said, it was my first time. So it's trial and error and just trying to figure it out. So, that includes wasting some time. Plus, anytime you're filming a video, that is definitely going to make things take just a little bit longer than they would if you're just doing it yourself. Again, you take 2 sections, 1/3 of it and 2/3 of it, split them apart, pull them apart quickly so it doesn't get tangled. Then you wrap them around, and that creates 3 sections of hair like a braid. So this is me adding my natural hair to that, and I add it into that middle section, and then I just start braiding. So I'm going to wrap it around. Again, I'm slowing this down so you can see it, because this is a pretty good view. So I just start by getting it as tight as possible, starting my braid by wrapping it around. I know when I started out, I was having some issues gripping, and then it just came to me like just regular braid. It's really not that hard. I think I was overthinking it. It just takes just a little bit more patience and just going a little bit slower at the roots while you're a newbie like me. So honestly, at this part, I think I start getting confused on which hair I pulled through already or which ones I wrapped around what, just because, looking in a mirror and stuff, sometimes it will throw you off. So I'm looking in a mirror, I'm looking in a camera, and then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let me fix which way I'm going. So that's why it looks like I'm going back and forth. I think I kind of lost track of where I was going, and I just wanted to make sure it was right. So here is where I'm adding the shine and jam again onto my hair. See how it kind of blends in better when I do that, and just kind of lays those frayed areas of hair down better, so I can get it into that braid. And then I just keep braiding it down, and I just continue this through my whole head for these 10 braids. So it's pretty much the same thing from here on out. You'll just see the end results. And you can see how that front hair I can put to either side. I just showed that. But here is me blow drying the entire bundle, which was so much smarter. And then section it out into 3 different sections. So that's 3 different braids worth. So again, I have my real hair in the middle section, and then I am just starting the braid around it and just making sure I'm covering up that rubber band. And so, like I said, when I have a good viewpoint, I'm going to put it in slow motion for you. So hopefully, you know, every little bit helps. So sometimes you're like, oh, okay, I got it. Oh, nope, I don't got it. Okay, well, no, this one. And then it's like the third or fourth or fifth one you see, you're like, okay, I get it now. So hopefully this helps. If not, just keep on practicing. I guarantee you'll get it. It's so easy. It's just like regular braiding. It is not any more difficult than that. It just takes like a couple times of practicing. And it takes a little bit of getting out of your head too. So you can really start to see like what the end result's gonna be like. Because I started with the back while parting and you couldn't really see things, I decided to start with the braids in the front. So yeah, this is me just showing you. I cropped out all the part of doing the back. This is the end result with it laying flat or just hanging, I mean. But you can see I can move that front to either side or back or wherever I want it. And then this is a photo that I took after I did a Facebook Live and recorded some videos. And this is me just pulling it back into a ponytail. So it has lots of options and it looked really cute. But thanks for watching and make sure to like and subscribe.